The last 2 seasons has been all about steady but impressive progression for European Tour star Andy Sullivan. 3 wins in 2015 led to an impressive 2016 where he qualified for Darren Clarke's European Ryder Cup team. However, this year has been a comparatively quiet one for the Englishman so far, so I walked a hole with him at the WGC match play in Austin to find out more about his early season form. Andy, always so good to catch up with you on Golfing World. We haven't seen that many starts from you this year. I think 4 times you've teed it up.
Yeah.
What's been your thought process so far this season?
I found sort of the last couple of years just found myself playing a little bit too much almost, and then I found like I've almost lost energy in the middle of the year and I've not performed the way I wanted to. And like last year, I felt like around the bigger events I've struggled a little bit. So I'm trying to sort of plan my year around the bigger events, and I've not played that great at the start of this year, but I got to the WGC in Mexico and I started playing a little bit better. So, planning just around them big events, I think for me is a lot better. I'm coming into them a lot fresher than I was before, instead playing 2 or 3 weeks going into them, and I'd get here and I'd be up for it, but I'd be all tired, and then coming into them last 2 rounds or going into a match play situation, it's difficult to find yourself mentally in it as well.
Tied 20th at the WGC, that's a good result. Do you almost feel like now that you've played Ryder Cup, you've played these massive championships, you thrive on the bigger events?
Definitely, I think for me, it's sort of, that's where I want to be, I want to win them big events, and, obviously winning's going to be a key part of my year this year. Obviously last year I felt, had a couple of chances to win, and basically I didn't enjoy them as much as I did the time that I won 3 times in here. Every time since getting contention in 2015, I absolutely loved it, and I was thriving on it and really enjoyed the moment. Where last year it was almost like every time I got into that position I had to win, and I put that much pressure and expectation on myself. I wasn't enjoying it as much, and I think Desert Classic, I was trying that hard to win, and you just forget about the enjoyment of actually, wow, I'm actually in a great situation to have a chance of winning here.
Biggest achievement of your career last year, Ryder Cup, and a huge thing to be a part of, and something that a lot of players only ever dream about. How hard was it to get into that team? It must have been a draining process.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing I found was I knew, obviously after being second to Rory, DP World, I knew I was in the qualification spots for a long time. And I got to Desert Classic and finished second. And I said to my coach and my team, I said, I'm not looking at the points anymore until sort of after the Open, because I don't want to know, because I'm just literally, all I was thinking about is I need to keep getting them, and it was just getting on me a little bit. So I sort of forgot about it till after the Open, and then luckily played well at the Scottish in the Open and realised I was in 1 from the last spot. So I was thinking, I'm glad I didn't look, because I don't think I'd have performed as well as I did. But you put so much emphasis on, because like you say, it's such a hard thing to do, especially when you've only got sort of, I think it's 8 qualifying spots, and then there's 8 guys out of Europe that are going to get them, and I mean there's probably 25 guys that could get in them spots. It's that good. You don't know how many chances you're going to get to have it, so literally I wanted to give it everything, and I almost played a little bit too much again, just trying to get into that team. I was going to Czech Republic and Sweden where I hadn't scheduled to play, but I'm on the cusp of the Ryder Cup, and I'm thinking, well, I've got to go and play, because if I get knocked out I'll be absolutely livid.
And then you finally get there, and I can't imagine what that week is like as a player. I'm sure you would have wanted to play a little bit better and it wasn't everything that you hoped for, but what did you learn about your game?
You step onto that first tee and everything about me is just so excited, but also shaking with fear at the same time, because I don't want to top the first tee shot. So I mean, it's brilliant. You go through all the emotions of, match play and just playing for a team. I'd love doing that as an amateur, and to do it as a professional, obviously with the world-class guys we had in that team was unbelievable. And I think, you see Rory when he's playing against Patrick Reed, and he almost ran out of energy because he gave it that much.
Man.
But it's so hard to control your emotions when you want to win that much and you just want to give it stacks. And that's something that I loved the whole experience about the Ryder Cup, and for me, it just made me feel like when I'm playing now and every time I've got a chance, I want to be in every team coming up.
And once you've reached those emotional highs, I can't imagine what it's like, but is there a bit of an anticlimax afterwards? Is it a bit of a drop?
Yeah, I must admit, like going into them sort of final series, and even Portugal to a certain extent, where I played it straight after, and again, I had a chance of winning. I had all my fans there as well cheering me on and stuff, and it was difficult, not getting yourself up for it, but just not having that. I felt like that was the ultimate pressure and the ultimate environment that I wanted to play in. And when you haven't got that all the time, it's difficult, to get yourself motivated to do it. So, I think it's something where you've got to deal with it. And, I've spoke to a few of the lads about it, trying to, get around a way of trying to motivate yourself, and new psychologists to try and get myself motivated again. But it's so difficult because, like you say, when you play at the pinnacle of the game and what you want to achieve, and then suddenly you go back to a regular event and there's not thousands of people around, not booing you or cheering you on, either way. You absolutely love it, and to not have that, it's difficult.
So for the rest of this year, we're going to get a win under the belt. Is that the #1 goal?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously to get back to winning ways and have that feeling of winning again and lifting a trophy would be fantastic. And then, for me, obviously, world rankings are massive now, so try and really cement myself in the world rankings and make sure I don't miss another WGC or major from now on.
Absolutely. So always great to see you. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Andy Sullivan.